quick, I want to make a couple notes on why we are not attacking the ball when we see our opponent in trouble, okay? Or what we can do to actually make that better. So when you guys are seeing the person is in a defensive position, they're running and they're in trouble, and you know they're probably gonna hit something weak, we want to get ready to attack. And they're typically hitting something that's a little bit higher and easier, all right? So why is it so important? Why do I yell at you guys constantly about like, get that ball early, take it early, okay? So let's go with the first one, your opponent's psyche, okay? So if they're in trouble and they hit some easy ball a little bit higher in the middle of the court and you don't do anything with it, then guess what happens later in the match? They're in trouble and they go, oh, all I gotta do is just kind of put it back in the middle of the court and nothing's gonna happen to me, right? Whereas if you are taking that ball early and making them run to the other side or putting it away, then next time they're in trouble, they go, oh crap, I can't get away with that. So then they try to do something a little bit more and then they make more errors. So you gotta understand, you're really making them feel comfortable on the court by not taking it early, so we gotta do that. Number two, the actual geometry of the game, okay? So it makes sense, hit the ball in general at its highest point above the net, because then you can hit it down harder, okay? And two, it makes sense to take the ball earlier in the court to give them less time and opens more angles for you. So we're constantly trying to hit the ball high and early as much as we can. Obviously not things we can't reach, okay? Three, why don't you guys do that? Okay, so first one is you guys don't feel as comfortable hitting the ball up here on a ground stroke or taking the ball to there with a volley or hitting an overhead. Okay, how does one get more comfortable doing that? By doing it, right? So as long as every time you guys see that ball and you decide to go back and hit it down here, then you are not getting better at it, and then it's going to get harder and harder. Four, probably the last one, is you're basically making a decision out of fear. So you know that it's going to affect your opponent negatively, that it's the right shot geometrically, that you know that this is an easier ball to hit once you get used to it and you put it into practice. So now you're telling yourself, I cannot do that, and now you're playing the game in a way that you're like, oh, I'm not good enough to be able to do that, right? Instead of just being, do it. And if you do it kind of halfway, like you get the easy ball, and then you go up and you go, okay, maybe this time I'm going to go for it. But if I miss it, then I'll get more conservative. Then as you're hitting that ball, you're already like questioning it. It should just be, I get an easy ball and I go up and I attack. Like, that's it. And then if you miss all of them, you miss all of them, you lose the match. But there's no decision making. As long as you guys kind of have that, I may or may not do it. And amongst our group here, we keep getting these high balls and we keep kind of going back to hitting this comfort zone. So that's how you're going to be, and it's okay. And that might actually make you win that point because you didn't make an error. But just along the path, it's going to be really tough to really progress past any level. And you want to get to the next level, you got to start doing that. Besides, to me, I just think it's way more fun to play. When someone gives you an easy one, you attack. When someone gives you a hard one, you play defense. You don't just hit the same neutral ball regardless of the situation. There's no strategy or fun in that. All right, now you are going to do it every single time. Thanks.